Hey guys, and welcome back to Broke Not Broken, and we're 1 week into the Slap Its Tail challenge. How did I fare? What did I do? And I've got 3 recipes for you tonight that will be listed at the end of the video. I will timestamp this so you know exactly where you're at. So let's start off with what's going on with my fridge. Here's the fridge, here's the freezer, and I didn't use the outdoor veggie fridge that much because I use the stuff in the freezer here. We're running low on the meat fridge, but that's okay. And the only thing I picked up, which was the caveat, I'm allowed to pick up dairy. So I went and got just a little carton of sour cream to do the recipe that we're going to see later on. Now today I've got a basic bread recipe, my personal favorite, my cinnamon bun bread recipe. And then after that, we have a new casserole dish, which I make all the time. It's similar to a tater tot casserole. However, I use hash browns and sausage in my recipe. So that's that. I'm feeling pretty confident with this challenge so far, and every day I get a little bit happier with these challenges I've set for myself. And for those of you who've watched previous videos where I've showed you I'm almost done my hoard of cleaning supplies, and I'm going to have to replenish them soon because, like I said before, I live in a house with 4 boys, 1 husband, and 3 children. And it tends to get messy in here, and mama can't do mess. So what am I going to run out of? Well, unfortunately, I'm gonna run out of coffee. I'm on my last pot. Apparently I didn't pick up any extra coffee before going into this challenge, so I'm gonna be caffeine free until I decide to give up. We are very low, like I said, in the meat department. I've got 1 pizza left. I got some pot pies that were made up. I've got a few sausages, different kinds of sausages in there. I've got frozen hot dogs, luncheon meat, and big ham, and I believe ground chicken and ground turkey still left to get through. Now the reason I want to get through this freezer is because I want to pick up turkeys when they're cheap, and when they're cheap is when we have Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I want to buy 6 of them. And the only way for me to get 6 turkeys is to empty one of my freezers. So I'm working on that while you guys are watching, which is great for me because it gives me a reason to continue this challenge. Not only that, I'm saving a crap ton of money by not going grocery shopping. Now, I will have to go pick up, like I said, fresh veg shortly, and I will have to pick up dairy as well, but I'm not having to run in for everything because this is everything counts challenge, and I'm stretching it out as best I can. But anyway, here's the recipes. 2 cups hot water, 4 tablespoons sugar, stirred until dissolved, 6 teaspoons yeast added to the water and sugar mixture. Stir again till it's dissolved, and then leave it alone for 5 to 10 minutes until it starts getting foamy and frothy. In a separate bowl, you're going to combine 3 teaspoons of salt with 6 cups of flour. Stand mixer bowl, I'm going to put in 1/2 cup of oil. The proofed yeast that overgrew because I wasn't watching it. That's okay. Slowly add 1 cup of the flour and salt mixture to the stand mixer and mix it on knead until all of the flour is gone, and then you're going to knead it for about 10 minutes, and we're going to get that going right now. For 10 minutes with the stand mixer, take it out of the stand mixer bowl. You may have to knead it by hand to combine all the flour on a lightly floured surface, and then you're going to put it in a greased bowl and cover it with saran wrap and leave it alone for an hour until it doubles in size. You're going to split the dough in half Once it's risen, and the first half, we're going to put on a lightly floured surface. We're going to roll it out for the rolled out dough, and then just spread it out. As best you can here, guys. Step is just to roll this up like a log. It might get messy. Now I've placed this in a prepared loaf pan with parchment paper just to save me some time and dishes. All I did was crimp the ends under, and happy accident, there's a little bit of cinnamon sugar on the outside, which is always nice. Now what you're going to do is leave this alone for half an hour, and then you're going to preheat your oven in that time to 350. You're going to bake this for 30 to 35 minutes. Now for the other half of that loaf of bread that we were working on, or sorry, the dough that we were working on, you're just going to knead it for about a minute. And what I like to do, instead of making more messes, is I like to form it into a loaf form and then get it into a parchment paper loaf pan and let it just sit for about half an hour till it doubles in size. And then both the cinnamon loaf and this white loaf can go in the oven at the exact same time. Here we go, guys. They're side by side. So that's a cinnamon bun loaf, and there's just a plain white. Now I prefer my bread to be a little bit more organically looking. They're made by hand. I try not to make them perfect because then my kids would think I was faking it. But I like to put a towel over top, and I'm going to start the oven right now at 350. And once these guys have risen again, I'm going to get them directly in the oven. Now that these have risen to twice their size, they're ready to go in for 35 minutes at 350. This recipe, you're going to need to fry up 6 to 8 breakfast sausages. Defrost 8 cups of hash browns. You're going to need 1 full container of sour cream, 1 can of cream of chicken soup, or cream of mushroom soup will work well as well. 2 cups of shredded cheese. To the bowl, I'm adding a ½ teaspoon of onion powder, 1/4 cup of melted margarine. I don't have any butter right now. The can of condensed chicken soup, a ½ teaspoon of salt, about 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 full container of sour cream, roughly about 1 cup of the shredded cheese. I lined my baking sheet with aluminum foil, but you can grease it. It just makes it easier for me to take it out and put it on a nice serving dish. What you're going to do is you're going to add the potato mixture into this. Then you're going to top this with the sausages like this. Then you're going to use the rest of the cheese, which should be roughly 1 cup, and just top that as well. You're going to bake this in the oven at 350 for about 30 minutes until it's all bubbly and golden on top with the cheese. I prefer to do it covered, but you can totally skip the aluminum foil if you want. It also makes a great make ahead, and that's what I'm doing right now. This will be tonight's dinner. Faring on the beauty products hoard. Well, I am taking way better care of myself than I ever have, actually probably since my early 30s. I have a tendency to give so much to other people, friends, family, my spouse, my children, and I tend to forget about myself. So I've been ritualistically doing my skincare morning and night. And to me, it really doesn't matter if I have my liner on and my brows drawn in, but I feel better when I do. And today wasn't that day. I was really busy in the kitchen cooking away and doing other things, but I'm finding it very therapeutic. Like I said before, I've been through a lot in the past month, and I'm finding just taking that little extra time to do little things for myself is really, really helping me feel better about my current situation. Now, I would like to thank everyone for liking, subscribing, and joining me today and taking time out of your day to watch this video. And thank you so much again. Have a wonderful evening, guys.